Maybe it's because my players aren't any good. I don't know. But I prefer night games. So let's start tonight in the Bronx. The Mets come to town. Vargas, with his 2-3 record and 3.57 ERA, faces off at Yankee Stadium against new Papa Masahiro Tanaka, 3-5 with a 3.42 ERA. Lou Lander says he prefers a Porsche. I love it. Let's look at some statistics in that game that may be applicable. And again, I'm looking at sample sizes of 10 at-bats or more. If I vary from that, I will tell you. But for the Yankees against Vargas, Brett Gardner, 4 for 13 in his career off Vargas with a home run. That's a 3.08 average. Aaron Hicks, 4 for 14 off Vargas with a 2.86 average. And Kendrys Morales is 6 for 28 with a 2.14 average. If I'm taking a Yankee tonight in that game based on that, I'm liking me some Aaron Hicks. I really am. So Hicks is a player I like for the Yankees tonight. For the Mets against Tanaka, not a lot of success. In fact, as a team, in 40 career at-bats, only 9 hits. Todd Frazier, I talked about earlier, 1 for 10 off of Tanaka. Now, do you take the position with Frazier that he's 1 for 10, he's a decent player, he's been hot lately, so those numbers mean absolutely nothing? Or do you take the position that he's 1 for 10, he has trouble with Tanaka, and he may have trouble tonight? Mark Youngblood says, how do I feel about Tanaka tonight? Mark, he's had 6 days off. And he's just gone through the birth of a child. I think he'll pitch well tonight. I really do. I think Tanaka will have his A game tonight for the Yankees at home against the Mets. And therefore, I think that's the other side of the equation. I'm not big on any Mets hitters tonight at Yankee Stadium against Masahiro Tanaka. Let's move on to our next game. I want to talk about the Arizona Diamondbacks. They go to Citizens Bank Park in Philly. It's supposed to rain tonight in New York, okay? I saw there was a 59% chance of rain. I guess if they don't play tonight, it would be real easy to make that game up sometime in the future, if not tomorrow as a doubleheader. I don't think they'd want to play a doubleheader early in the week, but I could see that game being made up really later in the season, don't you, if they don't play it tonight. The Diamondbacks are at Citizens Bank Park, as I said, in Philadelphia. Clark pitching for Arizona and Eichhoff pitching for the Phillies. Neither team has enough sample size to talk about there as we look at that game tonight. So let's move on to the Red Sox and the Rangers. Tonight at 7:10 at Fenway Park, Mike Minor fares off against Chris Sale. Here we go. Rangers. I don't have any sample sizes of 10 or more to talk about from Red Sox perspective, but I do from the Rangers. And I'm just going to tell you, they all stink. Okay? Elvis Andrus is 4 for 28 against Sale. Danny Santana, 3 for 19. Shin-Soo Choo, 2 for 26. I don't like any Ranger tonight against Sale. And remember, Sale's coming off of that 9-inning complete game shutout last Wednesday night. Sale's hot, and I look for him to shut down the Rangers tonight at Fenway Park. Asdrubal Cabrera, the switch hitter, may fare best against Sale tonight. If you have to have a player from Texas, I'd say take Asdrubal Cabrera against Chris Sale. Tonight in Marlins Park in Miami, Michael Wacha returns to the rotation. He's 3-2 with a 6.30 ERA, facing Sandy Alcantara, 3-5 with a 3.80 ERA. And here's my player that I want you to pick up in fantasy today. Okay? And I pick one player or two every day. Starling Castro. Yes. You've got to take Starling Castro tonight against Michael Wacha. Got to. Okay? If you don't add anybody else in daily today, add Starling Castro. We'll talk about it next show. Castro, 25 at-bats, 12 hits, 3 home runs off of Michael Wacha career. Okay? That's a 480 average with a 1.420 OPS. So I love Castro tonight against the Cardinals. Add him. Okay? As far as any other player, Martin Prado is 4 for 14, and Prado's been hitting good of late. He may be another player you want to add, but he doesn't get the endorsement that I'm giving Starlin Castro tonight. Texas, I already talked about Texas at Boston. I don't know if I told you, Cabrera's average, though, is 10 for 38. That's why I wanted Cabrera, hitting 263 with 2 home runs off of Chris Sale. Okay, Oakland's at Tampa tonight at Tropicana Field. Anderson pitching for Oakland. Charlie Morton pitching for Tampa Bay. A's of note, Chris Davis is 3 for 16 off of Morton. That's a 188 average. But Stephen Piscotty fares well off him, 3 for 10. Piscotty, 3 for 10. He may be an ad for daily today if you are into that kind of thing. Matt Chapman's only 2 for 11. Morton has pretty much done well against the A's over his career. Next game I want to look at, Pirates at Braves, SunTrust Park in Atlanta. Joe Musgrove, 4-6 with a 4.44 ERA, and he has been erratic all season. Really good like the girl with the curl, right? Really good when he's good and extremely bad when he's bad. He fares off, speaking of the girl with the curl, Kevin Gausman. Wow. Have I not just dogged Kevin Gausman enough? I think I have. You know how I feel about that. I don't want anything to do with Gausman. Let's look at some statistics career-wise. First, Braves hitters against Musgrove. There's really no good sample size. That nobody with the 10 at-bats or more, just so you know. I will tell you, Freddie Freeman and Dansby Swanson have both homered off of him during their short amount of at-bats against him. For the Pirates against the Braves pitcher Gausman, Gregory Polanco has gone 4 for 12 with a home run. I think I might go with Polanco if he's in the lineup. And this is a shorter sample size. I'll go ahead and put an asterisk beside it. But Starling Marte is 5 for 8 with 2 doubles against and a stolen base off of Gausman. That's a 625 average. I know it's less than 10 at-bats, but he has walked twice, so he actually has appeared 10 times, just 8 official at-bats with 2 walks. Seems to see the ball really well against Gausman, and so I like Starling Marte tonight as my second pick. Add that to the Starling list, Starling Castro and Starling Marte. Okay, the Nationals are at Guarantee Field in Chicago. Anibal Sanchez. As of the time I prepared my show this morning, the White Sox had not yet announced a pitcher. So I've named both Starlings as players to get. Starling Castro, Starling Marte, and here's my third pick of the day, number 3, and my final pick. And I mentioned him last week. And the last time I mentioned this first baseman, he homered. Okay? I said, go get him in daily, and he homered. So once again, I am endorsing Jose Abreu, who is 13 for 26 during his career off of Anibal Sanchez. Okay? For the White Sox. 2 homers. He's hitting .500 with a 1.363 career OPS against Sanchez. Get you some shares of Jose Abreu today. Got that? Okay, let's move on. The Cubs are at the Rockies at Coors Field. Yu Darvish against Marquez. Darvish is 2-3 with a 4.88 ERA. Marquez 6-3 with a 4.07 ERA. And as I look at that game, Nolan Arenado is 4 for 10 career against Darvish with a homer. Who doesn't like Nolan Arenado, right? I mean, Daniel Descalso. Here's a sneaky one. This may be a cheap one, too. You want to check your lineup to see if he's playing. But Daniel Descalso is 6 for 19. That's a 316 average in his career off Germán Marquez. And, of course, Marquez pitches much better on the road than he does at home. Now, other Cubs hitters have had some success off of him, but the sample size is small. And I don't know where the games took place. So I don't like to get into sample sizes, particularly with a Rockies pitcher, not knowing where they played the game. Okay, and the final game of the night that I haven't mentioned yet, the Dodgers are at Anaheim at Angel Stadium. Hyun-Jin Ryu for the Dodgers, 9-1 with a 1.35 ERA, taking on the rookie Canning for Anaheim, 2-2 with a 3.52 ERA. And again, not enough sample size there for either team. But those are the games today. So my 3 daily players to pick today, the 2 Starlings, Starling Castro, Starling Marte, and Jose Abreu for the White Sox. I've enjoyed being with you this morning. It's always great to start my week and talk baseball, talk about the games that were and the games that are yet to come. Thank you for being in the chat room this morning. Lou, great to see you. Lou says there is a special show on after my show. You don't want to miss it. So hang around and support your podcasters. I want to thank the Real Double A. Mark Youngblood. Mark, great to see you. Let me know about your trip. Send me some pictures from Florida. And I want to know how many autographs you get from those A's and Rays, okay? Cha-Cha, again, great to see all you guys in the chat room this morning. I want you to go out and watch some baseball tonight and look forward to the rest of the day. The schedule today, it's a busy Monday. Tonight at 7, Roto, Sports Buffet, Dan. So we look for you in all these chat rooms as we go forward. And then tomorrow morning, I'm back with you at 10. And I'll be back with you Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays going forward at 10 in the morning. And on Tuesday evenings at 6 o'clock. So I want to thank you again for listening. Go watch some baseball. Have a great day, everybody. From Arnie's Fantasy World of Sports.